Are we live? I'll just have to look at that one. Live. 2 people watching. Says I'm live. How about that? Better start my music. Not the best start. Danny de Hek, aka the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger. I did a live earlier on, and while I was doing the live, I realized there was a new article come out in the newspaper, and it says, astonishing returns, cult overtones and a perfect virtual world. How the HyperVerse scheme caught fire online. Look at the thumbnail. Cult like, what's the word again? Following. That's what they're like. So what's it like to be part of a cult? Well, ironically, I've got an 80-year-old mother that's just been put into an old people's home. She was part of the Jehovah's Witness religion, and she didn't want anything to do with me since the age of 23 years of age. In between that, I did have to go home and look after my nephew, and also my sister. She finished up dying by suicide, and my stepfather also died by suicide. It's been a very sad affair. It majorly affected my life and obviously my sister's life. They couldn't live up to the expectations that the Jehovah's Witness religion put on their life, which was absolutely really shocking. So I've been sitting here and I was going to press live and go live. And then I went to visit my mother in the hospital because she had got so drunk and that she was to the stage where they had to call the police to take her to hospital because she was trying to die by suicide. She's still alive. Apparently she's in good health. I went up there and visited her. And my brother was there. I haven't seen my brother for at least 10 years. We only abuse each other via text because he's in the religion and I'm not. Anyway, so when I saw my brother, gave him a big hug, and it was like a reunion. I could see he was literally shaking like this. Rumors are that he is also an alcoholic, like my mother. He didn't know my mother was an alcoholic or she had a drinking problem. But my mum's so depressed about her life, even though she wants to be loyal to Jehovah. She doesn't want anything to do with her son. I am so close to my mother, it's ridiculous. Very sad affair. But this is what it's like being part of a religious cult that shun people because they don't have the same beliefs. So my brother, when he left, he said, we should go out for a beer sometime. I said, oh, that'd be nice, Rick. That would be really, really good. So I've been texting him this afternoon, and I found out that my mother's house has already been sold, which is kind of ironic in a way. And there's a photo of the house. And they brought the auction forward. Don't know what they got from my mum's house. Don't know anything really. And then I sent a picture of the house to my brother. And I said, how's mum doing, Ricky? And how are you doing? You're okay? Long story, don't really want to talk about how, don't really want to talk about how you going, my little brother. He doesn't want to talk about it, but he's saying how his spelling's as bad as mine, you see. Give me some positive, he asked me. Positives are that I'm glad I'm talking to my brother. If you want to go out for a beer, I would love to. We could just talk about the old times. So my brother's upset about my mum's condition, and I'm going to carry on reading this, even though this is a personal story. And then he says, that is lovely, Danny. So sadly, we have limitations. It makes me very sad. I wish I could embrace you as much as I want to, but sadly, there are limitations. But hey, quick beer wouldn't hurt. Ha ha ha. Okay, so he's going to change his beliefs. Whatever works for you. I wouldn't want to bring any more grief to anyone. He says, we are all under grief. Brothers, perhaps, brother, maybe you are more so. Hey, I was thinking perhaps you could write your letter and I can give you her address. He's talking about my mother. But the letter needs to be super respectful and not talk about Jehovah's Witnesses. Oh my God. So here I am. My mother's 80 years of age. She's an alcoholic. She was trying to end her life by suicide, been taken by the police to a hospital to be assessed. Now her house has been sold by my nephew who's got the, whatever you call it, the power of attorney. And my brother's telling me I should write a letter to my mother because they won't let me see my mother. This is what it's like being part of a religious cult. And now he's telling me how I should be respectful about Jehovah's Witnesses. Well, the Jehovah's Witnesses religion has shunned my life and my friends that I grew up with and basically anything. So then I say Jehovah doesn't play any role in my life. You're welcome to have your beliefs and I will respect that. But I don't need to live by any governance and respect to belief of other people's. So what I'm basically saying, I didn't explain myself very well, but I don't need to live by the governance set on other people's beliefs. I would like to have a relationship with her if we could just leave the Jehovah stuff out of it. He's not part of my life, and I'm happy with that. But I don't need to be kept remind about him. He's no one to me. It's not something I need in my life. You keep worshiping your God, that's okay with me, but please don't try and influence me with your beliefs, all due respect. Not sure what you were saying. Well, some of my words don't come out very right. So then I reiterated, I said, if you want to listen to the last 4 recordings I had with my mum, you're more than welcome. You will see I was only showing love towards her. Well, if we have to talk via text, probably going to be a little bit difficult because I'm very dyslexic. So that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, why don't you ring up and talk to me on the phone? I don't want to get into some silly conflict with you. And I'm a believer of the Bible and you're not. That's fine. This left, it doesn't make sense. Both of us talk pidgin language because we don't talk on the phone. And then I go, if you want to talk on the phone, if you want to talk on the phone, you're more than welcome. I don't want to show disrespect to your beliefs. If you think it's all silly, then we might as well just leave it. So anything to do with my life and the way I live my life is basically just silly talk, apparently. And then it says, I don't know if I can make this any clearer. I don't want any discussion with you about Jehovah or the Bible. And if this means that we are not going to be able to have a chat, that's your prerogative. Door is always open. But I don't want to have a conversation about Jehovah or the Bible with anyone or any Jehovah's Witness at any time for no reason. I would rather shoot myself in the face. So that's what I'm saying to my brother. Dear Dan, you're talking out of emotion, whatever that means. Please, I don't know what, he says I'm talking out of emotion. I don't know what he's saying there. So I said the last words to my brother was, if you want to have a relationship with me, just don't mention anything to do with Jehovah, and I'm all good. But if you want to start talking about the Bible and your beliefs, then I'm really not interested in anything to do, and I'll just move on. No, your motives are not pure, sorry. If that causes you grief, I don't understand what he's saying, but I know what he insinuates. He's basically saying that I have other motives. Truly, what do you think my motives are? and I kind of want to end the conversation because I only know that it's going to end up in bad talk from us both. Take care, Danny. Cheers, mate, was my last conversation. So I don't know if you get what I'm just saying here, guys, but the problem is I was in a religious cult, and this is why I do what I do. So what I'm getting at here is there's an article in the paper here that basically saying that Sarah Martin's written from The Guardian, and I kind of want to go through it. But what it really is showing us here is that these Ponzi schemes and scams are very cult-like. And when I read this article, I thought, oh my goodness, they are very like that. And that's why I want to stand up for people who are lonely, sad, and they have to be part of some organization. My mum's put up the fight. I got involved in the Jehovah's Witness religion when I was 2.5 years of age. I got brought up in it. I got baptized in it when I was 16 years of age. And then because of that, my whole life has basically been ruined because I don't love Jehovah anymore and I wanted to get out of the organization. And then all my friends that I grew up with, my family, anyone that's associated with the Jehovah's Witness Church, still part of my family, has nothing to do with me. My mother's in an old people's home. She was trying to end her life, which is against the Jehovah's Witness beliefs. So they found out about that. They probably would have discommunicated her at the age of 80. And then my mum's now drinking, hiding alcohol around her house. She was putting notes to find bottles of vodka. Quite proud of that. And it's just a sad affair. So when I read articles like this, I kind of think, well, this is a sad affair as well. This is a sad affair that people have actually got lonely enough, found a community, invested their life savings. The amount of people that I've found that have invested their life savings is just absolutely breathtaking. So let's just read through this article together and I'll stop along the way. Let's have a listen.
Astonishing returns, cult overtones, and a perfect virtual world. How the HyperVerse scheme caught fire online.
So this is similar because the Jehovah's Witnesses.
Buzzer videos promoted the alleged Ponzi scheme and senior promoters lived the high life, but for thousands around the world the reality was a huge financial loss.
Yeah, so I might just give this link to my brother. He can actually watch me doing this video talk. That would be quite funny, isn't it? That I'll just send that through to Jasmine, his daughter, and I'll send it through to Ricky, my brother. And that's probably my brother. It'll be done. Once he watches that, he'll go, "Ooh, your motives are not good." I'm not allowed to talk about how the religion made me feel, or what what it did to my life. No, I'm just meant to sit here and take all the crap from the rest of them. So that's all fine. But hey, I've got on with it. Anyway, so I've just sent the link to this very video to my brother and also to his daughter to have a listen to. Maybe they can understand what I'm all about. But anyway, so what we're talking about here is Ponzi schemes and scams and what effect they have on people. People get involved in these communities, they invest all their life savings, and then boom, they find out that there's no perfect virtual world, or in my case, no paradise for people to actually to live on. So Hypertech Group is the founder behind it all. This picture here, well, I think was, I'm going to tell you about every aspect of this
a beautiful vehicle. Article. How HyperVerse was presented in one of its promotional videos.
If you want to
Guardian design HyperVerse Getty images.
If you want to skip it, you can go straight to the article and read it yourself. But I thought we'd go through it because these are quotes from people that have been said in Zoom meetings. And as I said in my previous live a couple of 3 hours ago, is that Zoom should be held accountable for providing the getaway vehicle for these people doing these scams. So
can you imagine the presenter asks owning your own planet?
So that was Pinicky Nark. Yes, Pinicky Nark. He said, can you imagine owning your own planet? I remember these phrases that they're quoting from, and that's Diversal, which is the dregs. So remember, we started with Hypertech, and they started doing presentations, turned into Hypercapital, Hyperfund, Hyperverse, Hypernation, Hyperplanet, Hypercosmos, and now it's gone to Diversal. And Diversal is all about people owning their own planet. And they're sitting there in these Zoom meetings and going, imagine owning your own planet. It's a friggin' virtual planet, for God's sake.
Imagine redesigning a desert planet and turning it into an oasis where human habitat can thrive and blossom.
Oh, my God. Yes, they say things like that.
Can you imagine that? Only in the universe, the hyper universe, that is.
Now, remember, Facebook spent $14 billion with a B trying to develop the metaverse, and it just laid off, well, it didn't just, but about 18 months ago, laid off, I think it was, 1,100 staff that were working on building the metaverse. They gave up on the project due to lack of interest, so they said. And now here we got Tim Bok, little wee companies trying to create their version of the metaverse. More importantly, sell it to people who are thinking about investing in it. Just doesn't add up. Does it make sense?
It is December 2021, and people have tuned into a spectacular online event to learn about the chance to invest in something called HyperVerse, a project its promoters claim will rival Facebook's multi-billion-dollar metaverse.
Yes.
The MC, a woman named Keely, stands on an illuminated blue stage with a moonscape in the background. This is the dawn of the next new beginning of the metaverse with infinite possibilities, she says.
Wow, and everyone's sitting there with their mouth open thinking, I need this in my life. Oh, everyone lost $1.9 billion, didn't they? Whoops, try that one.
Members are offered a trio of opportunities including blockchain education, daily rewards, and the opportunity to trade new products in a complete virtual world.
Can you imagine that, getting daily rewards like you're some sort of little wee school kid, and if you're going to be loyal to the company that you invested in, they're going to pay you out rewards. It sounds exciting, doesn't it?
The chief executive of HyperVerse, Stephen Rees-Lewis, encourages potential investors to become early backers of the movement into the metaverse, while senior community members extol the benefits of this beautiful vehicle that could totally transform your life forever.
Wow, sounds like a paradise, doesn't it? Yep, Stephen Rees-Lewis, as I'll probably point out in the bottom here, that Stephen Rees-Lewis was a fake actress. And one of my colleagues, my friend Jake Gamble, he actually paid for the reverse imaging lookup software and actually found one of his friends, one of Steve Rees-Lewis's friends, and managed to actually find that Stephen Rees-Lewis is actually a paid actor living in Thailand who managed to entice people out of $1.9 billion. A faked actor. And now he's just going to walk free because no one really cares about that.
The chairman of the Hypertech Group, Sam Lee, speaks, as does Hypertech's founder, Ryan Shu. Lee says HyperVerse will allow people to live a more comfortable and worry-free life, while Shu promises a perfect virtual world unlocked by the project's unique membership model.
Wow, sounds really cool. And I reckon that picture is actually off the thumbnail of one of my... Somebody must have picked that up, but I'm pretty sure I created that thumbnail. Just saying.
The launch comes amid a whirlwind of promotion.
Yeah, I think I did another one, and I think it was actually... it had Jaden Wee in it. I must have a look.
Messages of support are posted online from the Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak and the US actor Chuck Norris as the Hyper project gathers momentum. For potential investors, the project offers astonishing returns.
Yeah, that's when good influencers go bad. There was a site out there where you could actually pay an influencer to endorse your product. And Chuck Norris and also the Steve, was it Wozniak? He endorsed HyperVerse. They wouldn't have even had a clue what HyperVerse was all about. I bet they wishing they did do that.
Potential investors, the project offers astonishing returns.
So Sam Lee, I spent hours chatting to him. Ryan Jew, well, he's still in hiding. Allegedly, I think Ryan Jew's actually taken the $58 million and shafted Sam Lee. Sam Lee was going to sell his part of Blockchain Global to Ryan Jew for 400 Bitcoin and 1.7 million. But he never paid for it. But I think at that time he got access to the company. He was 40% owner of it. My Keys, My Crypto. So they stole a laptop that had, I think, over 170 different crypto wallets in there. And obviously, Stephen Rees-Lewis, I spent hours trying to find him. He actually did it he became the fake CEO for $5,000, a free suit, 2 ties, and maybe a fresh pair of socks and shoes. And then he just pretended that he was a fake CEO, didn't know he was doing anything wrong, and he would like to say to everyone, he's sorry.
Memberships start at $300 and earn daily returns of a minimum of 0.5%, with a tripling of investment earned in 600 days. To take advantage of this chance of a lifetime, people are encouraged to build the hyper community, to make a better world for average people and earn more in the process.
Now, it was brilliant there. Now, Bitcoin Rodney, who's been arrested, he's incarcerated at the moment. He claimed that 1.5 million people invested in HyperVerse, and on top of that, 400,000 people were actually active investors. in the company. So if you did maths on that and you got your 300 and times 1.5 million, that would be enough. There's $4 billion there. Now, 52% of the money that come into the company was actually 52% of the money that went into the company was actually shared with people who were promoting it. So the multi-level marketing part of HyperVerse is the scam, not the product or the dream they were selling people. And that's why this one got so much traction. Even today, we're looking at Boomerang. 10% of the money goes to people who encourage people to sign up for it. That's why you've got this yin and yang thing. You've got people like me out there trying to expose these people for promoting these scams, and then you've got the scammers out there who are collecting the money going, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. There's a guy called Trash Shit. I call him Trash Shit. I know, and he's lost a lot of money to We Are All Satoshi, and at the moment he's doing presentations telling people they sign up for Boomerang. He's doing that because he's trying to get his money back, not because he thinks Boomerang's real.
But as it turned out, the event, and all within it, was a mirage.
Yes, it was a mirage. Stephen Reese Lewis. I won't show you this article.
Stephen Reese Lewis was a paid actor.
Yeah, he was. And thank goodness for Sarah. She published this article and it created awareness. It went global. And the guy in America, Jack, managed to find out who
The
was.
HyperVerse never existed.
No, it didn't exist. And they were actually claiming they were doing crypto mining as well. And that's why Bitcoin Rodney and Brenda Chung has pleaded guilty, because they were selling and doing presentations, touting the fact that they were going to be doing crypto mining. In fact, Kalpesh Patel left HyperVerse theoretically, even though he went off to promote another hypertech group thing, told Sam, he didn't like Sam Lee because Sam Lee told Kalpesh Patel that they weren't doing whale trading or investing in startups. In fact, they were taking the money out of HyperVerse and transferring it into Bitcoin. And Kalpesh Patel, with his good morals, said that was shocking. And he decided to leave, and he left and started promoting GS Partners for a couple of weeks. And then all of a sudden he turned around and started promoting WeWe.global, which is now turned into the blockchain era, which is now turned into something called Zion. And in the meantime, a whole lot of mum and dad investors have lost all their money. If you've lost your money, I want to hear about it. Go to dehek.com, check out my website, and the like. But anyway, as we go on.
2 years later, the collapsed project has been named in US court documents as an alleged pyramid and Ponzi scheme that bilked investors worldwide of a staggering $1.89 billion US dollars, 2.89 billion Australian dollars.
Wow, that's a lot of money, isn't it? Now, if you do want to support me and my channel, you're more than welcome to do so. I don't know if you've noticed, but I actually do have a buy me a cup of coffee link, and you can actually join. And you can be a member for as little as $1 a month, or $5 a month, or $10 a month, or you can buy a platinum membership for $49 a month. You want food? Okay, I'm just into it, and I'm going to do this, and then you're starving. My partner wants me to go get some takeaways for dinner. Anyway, do check out the comments in the Buy Me a Cup of Coffee app. I've just put the link in there. You can read that we have actually had some really amazing stories. You can grab yourself a membership, or if you want some advice along the way, you can go to the extra section and you can book some time with me. And that's how I make my living, ladies and gentlemen. But let's go back. So let's hear what they say in the article.
There is no suggestion Wozniak, Norris or Stephen Harrison, the actor who appeared as Reese Lewis, knew the details of the scheme.
That's true. I don't believe they did either, but they were paid influencers to influence people, and people listened to what they said and probably acted on it to a certain degree. To me, I saw those coming out. I just did a short and laughed my head off.
Materially false and fraudulent pretenses. In 2022, the community that had been assiduously built up during the pandemic began to fracture, as thousands of members suddenly reported losing access to their funds.
Yeah, so that's yeah, they did. They couldn't get access to their reward money, could they? And once you put your money in, like you put your $300 in, that was not something that they would invest with. They would take that from you and say, you're now a member, and that was your membership fee. And then they would say, because you're a member, we're going to pay you daily rewards. And over 600 days, they would drip feed the equivalent of $900 back to you in rewards. And the theory was that you could either be enticed to reinvest it, or you could withdraw it into HVT, HyperVerse tokens. and then you could exchange them back into USDT and get your money and run away happily ever after. But the reality of it was that the VIP fives were selling these membership and taking the reward money straight away for the referral money or the commission money. Absolutely shocking. Did I say this?
Sort out the withdrawal problems, one member wrote to the HyperVerse Twitter account.
Yeah. And there was no money left to give people the money. But like we are all Satoshi now. So they haven't paid out anyone for 55 days. But however, if you refer people into the platform, you will get your commission paid to you in another way. This is how silly this is. This is why it's just like a religious cult.
To try to maintain the faith of the Hyper community, Hypertech launched a new project called HyperNation. This was an even more bizarre offering promoted by a hooded man wearing a gold mask and gloves, promising members a universal basic income and a chance to be liberated and free. Some senior promoters and many members, alarmed at the change of direction, jumped ship.
But the funny thing is they jumped ship. And there was a guy called Mr. H. I put 40 of Mr. H's videos together to show people there was actually 3 or 4 different Mr. H's because they're all different heights, different voices, different demeanors. And it was so funny. But this didn't deter people from getting invested. Oh, no, after getting brainwashed, they just slowly got brainwashed into thinking that this is real and this is genuine. And they carried on investing. One lady I knew of had already invested $45,000 and actually withdrew $23,000 in HyperVerse, actually put an additional $15,000 into HyperNation. And she was actually in one of the articles that Sarah produced.
But investors worried about recovering their funds were strung along to the next iteration of the scheme, and many followed instructions to put in more funds to guarantee the return of their the initial investment.
You ever watched Lemmings? It was just like Lemmings. They just marched along off the cliff. No one stopped them.
In January, the US Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) lodged a claim in the District Court of Maryland naming Lee as one of the alleged co-founders of the HyperNation, HyperVerse and HyperFund schemes. HyperFund was renamed HyperVerse at the December 2021 launch.
Now, I have Sam Lee's WhatsApp, and I know a lot of you guys do, but I had the joy, I'm pretty sure it was me, informing him that they had basically pressed charges against him. Now, it's really unusual that they've done that because he was an Australian citizen, and America's gone after him. Now, mark my words, Kalpesh Patel is also going to have the same fate. The Men in Black have told me that they're actually going to prosecute Kalpesh Patel because of his involvement. And also they were going after Keith Williams because Keith Williams has been currently trying to get my YouTube channel removed or my videos removed because I put his home address out there in public. I've also, if anyone wants Keith Williams' home address, please do reach out to me, buy me a cup of coffee or support me by becoming a member so I keep my YouTube channel going. If you want his home address, fine. And also I know that Keith Williams has been transferring his money off into other countries, which the Men in Black told me. So they're going to be, hopefully, you're going to see more action happen to people in the UK. And obviously they're doing that to Kalpesh Patel, even though he's a UK citizen living in Dubai, but to set an example to other people who are promoting it. So I've been writing to ASIC, I should say, to Sarah, I've forgotten her last name, but I've been writing to her and I've been offering information I have on Australians who have actually been promoting these Ponzi schemes. Yvonne Henry, I'm talking about. Carl Miller, I'm talking about. George Marcus. Also Janet Holt, and another one called Kate Longley, 5 Australians. And if you go to the homepage of my YouTube channel when I'm not doing a live, you'll see a video there of Yvonne Henry and Kate Longley stealing $102,000 from a couple who think they're investing in an opportunity of a lifetime, and Sam Lee is writing them a promissory note. It's absolutely disgusting. But that video has been given to ASIC, and I'm saying to them that I can show more evidence about these people. So there was a video about 3 videos back, and they were in the Congress meeting, and they were talking about HyperVerse and Blockchain Global, and they claimed it was a scam, which is really, really cool. So I've reached out to them after that. I also did a video about that, and I'm offering my services to those government organizations who want more evidence to prove these people are doing it. In the government meeting in Congress, when they talked about it, they actually said, has anything happened to these people? And they said, not yet, to my surprise. But yes, things are starting to happen, even though it's 2 years later.
Brenda Chunga, a senior US promoter otherwise known as Bitcoin Bote, was also charged. She has not been charged and is not named in the US proceedings.
What did they say? Oh, top paragraph. Hugh, yeah, well, John Ryan Jew, they don't know where he is. That's the problem there.
The claim alleges that the Hypertech Group ran a global, crypto asset-related, multi-level marketing pyramid and Ponzi scheme which had no real source of revenue other than funds received from investors. It alleged that without legitimate revenue sources, investor withdrawals were paid with new investor deposits.
Yep, so that's what a Ponzi scheme is. You use the money that you get from one member to pay another member the rewards that are promised. Memberships. It's all about memberships, multi-level marketing. It's not that complicated. Forget about the product. They're all scrambling together to get a product. It's like We Are All Satoshi think they have a product now called arbitrage trading, called Boomerang, and we've proven by watching all the crypto trading, we've followed the money. We can even see money that's been paid from Diversal. Yes, Diversal has been topping up We Are All Satoshi's wallet addresses to keep the scheme going long enough so they can start selling these arbitrage trading memberships. And those memberships are selling from 1,000, 3,000, 5,000, and 10,000. And just to be really quickly about the scam, they're going to mention it in this very article, is they're basically drip feeding 8% of your money back to you and then telling you to wait to March. Now, the more articles that come out like this and more awareness, you're going to see people like Sam Lee getting arrested, getting expedited back from Dubai to Australia because they have an expedition blah, blah, blah thingy. So lots is happening at the moment. But you guys keep investing in what you think is true and genuine in these platforms and see what happens to your money. I can tell you from my experience after doing this for over 2 years that you will lose all your money. So don't invest in these things. And don't send me silly little emails going, hey, have you got any platforms that are good? Because I don't. None of them are good. They've all got crypto. They've all got too good to be true. And they all offer a reward if you refer a friend or a family member. Those three things put together, it's a scam. It's not even rocket science. It's not even de Hek science. Just stop giving your USDT away to these scammers. It's the Wild West out there at the moment.
The court documents relate to the various hyper schemes running from about June 2020 to November 2022.
They do.
Separately, Lee also faces the criminal charge of conspiracy to commit securities fraud and wire fraud.
Brilliant. And I had the joy of telling him that as soon as the article hit the floor. Why do I know I had the joy of doing that? Because the reporter told me that the article was going to come out at 3 o'clock in the morning. Just so happens Danny was up when the article hit the press, so to speak, and I text Sam the link. And I even had the link before it was even live. So there you go, Sam. I'm pretty sure Danny de Hek, a.k.a. the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger, told you about the article before it even happened.
Lee and his co-conspirators stand accused of allegedly inducing investors to invest through materially false and fraudulent pretenses, representations, and promises.
In other words, Sam Lee, you're just full of shit. And I hope you enjoyed your wedding in Thailand.
Lee has claimed that at its peak, the HyperVerse community numbered 2 million people.
Yeah, he has claimed that, but we don't believe those numbers are quite true. But anyway, let's go there. I'll read 2 paragraphs at a time. Let's go.
Lee has said he wanted to increase that to 1 billion people within 3 years, while Shu said the Hypertech Group had plans to build an army. Lee moved to Dubai in late 2021, but far from being in hiding, the former frontman of the hyper schemes has been at pains to present himself as the community's savior. Su's whereabouts are unknown.
Yep, last known video was actually given to me, and it was on May the 2023. I asked the Napoleon community to have a look at the video and see where they thought it was. They actually thought that he was staying somewhere in a hostel of some sort because they had like a flash fire extinguisher and all that sort of stuff. If you go to my YouTube channel and click on shorts, you will see I've put that clip in there. And there's lots of other clips in there as well. Please do go through my website. Do check out my YouTube channel. Do check out my other videos. If you're sitting there on the fence thinking you know what you're doing, invest in crypto. Do not invest in these platforms. It's not rocket science. You don't need a platform to invest in crypto. It really is that simple. They will just take your money and give you false promises. It's like a religious cult. Trust someone who's been in one.
In early 2023, Lee claimed in online Zoom meetings with investors he had been caught off guard by people's inability to withdraw funds in the various Hypertech Group schemes, and he now wanted to help find a solution.
Oh, he's such a good guy.
I thought there was plenty of money to go around, but that, unfortunately, for whatever reason, that did not reach membership, Lee said.
Oh, it's crap, because here's Lee telling Kalpesh Patel, and Kalpesh Patel was WhatsApping me, telling me that Sam Lee was telling him, if you got that, that there was no money left in the. He knew they were taking the money out of HVT and transferring it into Bitcoin and lifting it off the platform. Now, right now, what the heck? I've got to show you guys this stuff. This is that's my buy me a cup of coffee, but this is the Tron scan. And if you're investing in We Are All Satoshi, or if you are investing in Boomerang, this is $7.2 million 41 days ago that had been lifted off the platform. And you see it's gone out and it's gone into a hot Binance wallet. Not only that, if you look at the main liquidity wallet for We Are All Satoshi, you can actually see money being lifted out of this platform: 15,000, 10,000, 5,000, 6,000, 21,000, 5,000, 6,000, 9,900, 10,000, 2,000, 6,000. This is money. 48 days ago, 200. This is all money that's been transferred out, in and out. You should see all the big figures are going out. So right now, money has been lifted and stolen from people that think they're depositing in some scam, and they're not. It's just been stolen. And we've tracked all the wallet addresses of all the people promoting it. We've got photos of them everywhere. It's just ridiculous. And we can't stop people because no one's really watched my YouTube videos. So please do share and like them so they get out to the right audience.
I'm here because something went wrong, and just saying it's wrong is an understatement. It's gone terribly wrong. But I'm here to face the music. I'm here to deal with this.
Well, he's a lying little wee boy, isn't he? He knows very well. And I help myself. I do have to show you, if we go to, I'll read another paragraph and we'll get this. I'm here to deal with it.
The loquacious Australian, who claims to be a private person, has fronted countless Zoom meetings amid the fallout, blaming a mystery corporate team for the scheme's failures.
Right. So just to give you an idea of the amount of work that I've done, I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger for you people who can't quite see. This is my YouTube channel, and these are the videos that I've spent 10, 15 hours producing each of the time. There's enough evidence in here for everybody. There's public warnings. This video here, wanted scammer Ryan Jew. They've been trying to get this video offline at the moment. It's banned in the UK. I've got articles, videos after videos. I've got the whole history of Sam Lee trying to smooth his way back in there. This video here, which you'll see here, is a video of Sam Lee getting married about 16 months ago in Thailand. At that time, he was setting up another blockchain thing, whatever he calls it. I've got people that used to work with Sam Lee. I've got Sam Lee walking around the streets of Dubai claiming that he's a billionaire. Yes, a billionaire. I've got videos when I was trying to warn people not to get in bed with VAV, where it's a Ponzi scheme that they'd guarantee your money would come back to you in 48 hours. Everyone lost their money in 24 hours. I've got, Sam Lee talking about how Vidi looks it's Pixel. I've got videos coming out my ears, mate. I've got Sam Lee drunk. I've got Sam Lee doing cocaine videos. Whatever you want there's a whole arsenal of videos that you can go through and you can find. I've got Australians who are notorious. Oh, there's my 3 videos. I got that wrong, didn't I? I was accusing the Guardian. See, that's my 3 thumbnails. When Sam Lee first came out of hiding, go through, have a look at my videos. If you're sitting here, these are long form. This is this one here, HyperVerse, Hyperfund 2020. This video goes back to. I've got leaked videos where they were trying to stop me broadcasting these videos. Hey, people have been trying to sue me. Last year, somebody tried to sue me for $3.8 million for defamation because I'm exposing these bastards. They come after me. Heck, Dom, listen to this one. This is quite fun. Oh, I've got no sound. Maybe that's a good thing. This is when Sam Lee came out of hiding. I've been following this guy for 2 years. It gives me great joy. But this is what I did. The last video I come out with. Here first. Sam Lee is back. I was laying in bed. Oh, you got the phone. Oh, it's me being dramatical. Look. He's alive! He's alive! Watch the video. But hey, what I'm getting at, lots of things have happened in the last couple of years, and now they're reporting articles about it.
The loquacious Australian, who claims to be a private person, has fronted countless Zoom meetings amid the fall.
I already read that one. Let's read this one instead.
When asked to explain why and how things went wrong, Lee says he has signed non-disclosure agreements preventing him from telling the full story.
Bullshit.
He has denied the scheme was a scam and has declined to answer questions from Guardian Australia.
I've got conversations that I've literally had with Sam for 3.5 hours on he won't talk to me in voice, but I have got messages, him and I talking back and forth directly in a group with 3,000 people in it. And he admitted to me he wasn't a billionaire. The week previously, he's walking around the streets, claimed everyone is a billionaire. His latest statement that's come out in the newspaper is that the president of the UAE has released prisoners into his care, and he's put them all up and given them a job working in a call center because he's such a good guy. I mean, this guy's got so much filth coming out of his mouth, he can't even keep his own stories straight.
Shu could not be contacted for comment.
That's right. Cult-like following. Well, here we go. This is right up my alley.
Cult-like following. Lee appears to command an almost cult-like following among his supporters. Sam, you just put it all on your shoulders. And I want you to know, we all appreciate it, but you don't have to just have it on your own shoulders. One senior Australian promoter told Lee in a meeting last year. In another meeting, a supporter led an 11-minute prayer for Lee, asking God for help to save this platform.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Well, that person that they're talking about, which they're not naming because they're too scared to name it, is Yvonne Henry. And honestly, you just can't make this shit up. But she was getting teary eye. But they're talking about, I don't know if I'm going to give this video justice, but this is the lady here that was getting teary-eyed when talking about Sam, and her name is Yvonne Henry. And Yvonne, sue me for defamation. I don't care. I'd love you to prove it wasn't. I'd love you to prove it that you haven't been promoting these Ponzi schemes. Bring it on. But the lady that was giving the prayer one is just absolutely breathtaking. If I can find that, there's another notorious scammer. Oh, here she is. Is that the one? I think that's the one. Yeah, no, have a look at this. This is amazing.
Great minds are on this platform, God. Mighty God, we put Mr. Samley before you. My God, touch his mind. My God, we put the tech team before you as well. Lord, we know there is a way. We know there is a way out. Mighty God, we're asking you to...
I have to stop that because it's got bloody background music in it. Hey, g'day, P Music. Nice to have you here. Good to see you in here. Just having a bit of a rant. Another article in the paper. Wish I actually had that one. I must have republished that one, but I thought I had her just saying the prayer. I've got background music in it. If you're a YouTuber and you have background music, you normally get striked for having the music, and I have to either edit the video out or take the music out. But I'm pretty sure I didn't have her in here twice. Oh, is that her? Oh, maybe that's her. Oh, we are Satoshi. I'll have a look. To have a quick listen, then I'll get back to the article. Sorry, I don't want to get distracted.
On mute.
Oh, same lady. Oh, I don't even know if this is the same lady. Anyway, let's not get distracted. Let's go back to the article. Oh, somebody sneezed. Somebody's getting hungry.
Lee appears to cultivate his following carefully. He gives almost sermon-like lectures on blockchain technology and his money-making philosophy, and invites people to visit him in Dubai. He promises to share information not available to others with those prepared to meet him in person. Community meetings emphasize the importance of staying positive, and it was not uncommon for members, including those who have lost money, to profess their love to Lee and commitment to their journey.
Oh, it makes you sick. And every time he speaks, we have to speed him up to double speed because he's such a bore to listen to. And he just says the same shit and shuffles it around all the time. Nothing intelligent comes out of Sam Lee's other just repeating the same old jargon. You need to understand. You need to understand that we're leading the technology world. And he's not. He's just an idiot. He's a scammer. Simple.
Meetings talked about the Hyper family, and when members were unable to withdraw funds, they were asked to keep faith.
Keep faith like it was some sort of religion. Definitely.
In an apparent bid to relaunch HyperVerse in mid-2023 as a new scheme called Hyper Ascension that never eventuated, Lee said he wanted people to join him to come together and heal.
So the real funny thing about that, Sam Lee says he wasn't connected to HyperVerse in any which way or form. This website you're looking at is actually hosted on his. So if you went, I'll put it in the chat room for those people who want to have a wee nose. But his website went down about a week and a half ago. So the URL of this page that we're looking at is actually called thehyperverse.stable.limited. And this was him when he was trying to start up HyperVerse again and get the VIPs on site again. If you take out the HyperVerse name in the URL, which you can't see, you'll see it goes to Stable Deo, and also his latest one, Stable Deo, We Are All Satoshi. So in here, he's got We Are All Satoshi and Vend. And I just don't want to go down a rabbit hole and lose you guys, but it shows you that when you hear statements that he claims that he's no part of HyperVerse or HyperNation, it just does not make sense. Okay, let's carry on. I think I don't know if we'll turn to victory. And victory, oh my gosh, all these statements.
We will turn defeat into victory. And through victory, we will bring peace and prosperity to our community.
Yeah, that was VAV, victory, something attracts philosophy. I can't remember what it was.
Lee is also a member of a Telegram group called High Tea with Sam, in which he records himself drinking tea or coffee and near daily updates to a core group of his supporters.
Absolutely crap. I got kicked out of that one after a couple of weeks.
One of Lee's later projects, called We Are All Satoshi, offered potential investors a selfie with Sam Lee if they bought a package worth $25,000 or above.
Yes, I did a video of that when they all went to Dubai, and I got photos of all these scammers together. 2 weeks after they left Dubai, the scam falls over. It was ridiculous.
Lee has been linked to a series of investment schemes since the hyper collapse, including Stable Deo, Vidalook, and Vend. He appeared in a video promoting Vend just last month, within days of being charged in the US.
Yeah, he was. I actually one of my biggest videos recently was actually just that, where Sam was actually the very next day after the article came out that I told him about. Then he basically addressed his Vend community. Now, if you don't know anything about Ponzi schemes, this is how ridiculous it is. They had this thing called Vidalook, and people would watch outdated adverts, and because they watch these outdated adverts, they would get a daily reward. And these adverts weren't from any advertisers that anyone used to know. It lasted 6 weeks. Garrett was a guy that was involved in it, and they were trying to tout the idea that Garrett was the owner of Vidalook. And it just goes on and on and on. I could go for it. Anyway, 6 weeks that lasted. And then they restarted up as Vidalook 2. That lasted, I think, 2 weeks. And they gave you a half-price membership if you've been in the one before. People went, oh, my God, well, I won't fall over twice. And then they come out with Vend, which was Vidalook End, meaning this was the last time it was going to be restarted. It had a fail safe on it. More money went out than went in a 7-day period. It automatically shut down because Sam provides the software for it. So now they're on to Vidalook Vend 4, and that fell over. And now they're trying to relaunch Vidalook 5. It just gets ridiculous. It's absolutely just
Lee
stupid.
has claimed he was involved only in the technology side of HyperVerse, but for investors, he was always front and center.
Yeah, but he signed an NDA, and he said now that the NDA is ended, he can start up and be in competition with his own company. I mean, get stupid.
Community leaders have always projected you as the man with the Midas touch, one Nepalese investor told Lee in 2023. Hypertech, HyperVerse, Hyperfund, whatever. It's Sam Lee, it's Sam Lee, it's Sam Lee. That is all we have been told day in, day out.
Done a video just last week with that guy quoting that very phrase.
Hyper-promotional material encouraged due diligence and emphasized the importance of Shu and Lee's business backgrounds and the success of their multi-billion-dollar group of companies, referring to Blockchain Global, H Cash and Kalinsta Capital, which made up the Hypertech group.
Oh, it just goes on and on.
These companies were Australian.
I don't think we're going to see any more articles from Sarah. She's done a bloody good job. She bought me some coffees the other day for helping her with these articles, which is really lovely. But I think this is her closure to this Ponzi scheme and scam. So unless something dramatically happens, I don't think we'll see too many more articles about this. She's done a bloody good job. She's done more than any other newspaper company. She's gone through all the lawyers. She's got all the information as much as she can correct, and she's published bloody good articles, and I take my hat off to her. And it's been nice to be part of that journey with her.
The Crown Prince of Bitcoin and the Martian. It was 2014 when Lee and Shu first met at a blockchain event in Melbourne.
Yep, that's right. Let me guess. Was it Hcash event?
Shu, a Chinese national, had moved to the city to be with his girlfriend and claimed he had a lot of spare time on his hands.
Yes, and he had a photo of him and Donald Trump together, which he paid $50,000 to get. And I remember seeing that being showed on one of the videos that I have.
Along with fellow blockchain enthusiast Alan Guo, Lee and Xu established the Bitcoin Group, which they hoped would be the first publicly listed Bitcoin company in the world.
Yep, they can hope.
Speaking in a later blockchain documentary about the listing plan, which ultimately failed, Xu explained, "So many people said we were liars, said we were doing pyramid schemes.
Yep.
What I wanted to prove was that if we could get recognized by mainstream regulators, then we should be able to prove to everyone that this industry is a very normal one."
Rubbish.
Lee, just 26 at the time, was feted as the crown prince of Bitcoin and became the poster boy for blockchain technology.
He did. He theoretically had 300 companies under his belt, so they said.
In a promotional video for the Bitcoin Group, the young Lee talked about his girlfriend. "She has never betrayed me, and my wife loves her very much," he says, smiling to the camera. "We all know who I'm talking about. It's Bitcoin." Xu, who claims to be one of China's 4 Bitcoin kings, gives himself the nickname the Martian.
The Martian, yes.
"I feel like I don't belong on this earth," he explained. Separately to Bitcoin Group, which was renamed Blockchain Global in 2016, Xu and Lee began their first Hyper project together, headlining a launch event in Hong Kong in 2019 for Hyper Capital. This appears to have laid the foundations for the later Hyper schemes, offering a similar membership model and projected high rates of returns.
Yep, they basically moved shop from Australia to Hong Kong, and I've got to find that video before I lose it. They were all sitting at a round table, there's about 20 of them, and that was when HyperVerse moved its ass off to Hong Kong. I still believe that Ryan Ju is actually probably in Singapore. I wouldn't even be surprised if he's in America and or Hong Kong, because Jaden Wee, which was one of the 3 people that started the company back with Sam Lee, Ryan Ju, and Jaden Wee, were actually friends, and they were working at a company called Bitcoin Group, and that rebranded itself to Blockchain Global. But they're all friends. Anyway, Jaden Wee's cell phone was pinged in Australia and Singapore recently, so I've been told. And I wouldn't mind betting that Jaden Wee and Ryan Ju are the people that tried keeping it all going with Hypernation. And because Ryan Ju shafted Sam Lee, I believe, I will have my own theory on it. I believe that's when Sam came out of hiding and started up Stable Dayo. And he basically then went and threatened them by saying he's going to steal the community. Then they had Brenda Chunga, which we'll hear about in a minute. Brenda Chunga was actually arrested back in December 2022. She was brought in for questioning, and then you would have seen Brenda Chunga let out in the community. Her job was to trap Sam Lee into going to America. If Sam Lee went to America, he would have been arrested. That's why now they've actually filed charges against Sam Lee, because he's helped steal a whole lot of American money. Long story short, I've been privy to a lot of information, and this is sort of a little bit of a closure. I think I need to start going after other Ponzi schemes.
From as early as 2021, regulators around the world were issuing warnings about Hyperfund and later, HyperVerse, but the schemes ran unchecked in Australia, where the companies allegedly behind them were based.
Yes, right. What have we got? We've got $58 million from directors, including Giant Leads, reflected Australian securities. And the Security Commission, I was listening to them live just the other day, and they asked, has anyone been charged yet? And they went, oh, not yet. And the guy who was the senator said, why? Remember the folks, when someone says, give me $1, what's the LA stand for? L1L? Give you 100. First question should be why they need the dollar. True. What are they going to do with it? And these companies are building, they had no product or service. They were asking people to invest in a hope and a dream. Literally, they were asking people to invest on a website.
By 2021, just as Hyperfund was taking off around the world, Blockchain Global collapsed. It owes creditors $58 million, and its directors, including Lee, Xu and Guo, have been referred to the Australian Securities and Investments Commission, ASIC, for alleged potential breaches of the Corporation Act.
I think we read that paragraph twice, didn't we? Sorry about that.
Guo is not believed to be involved in the HyperVerse scheme and is not named in the US proceedings. He has not responded to questions from Guardian Australia.
Yeah, that's true.
After Guardian Australia's investigation into HyperVerse, ASIC announced last month that it would assess the liquidator's report, filed in late 2023.
Yeah, so once again, if you go to, if we go back to my YouTube, let's see if I can get it going back. Yep, we can. So if you go to my live section of my YouTube account, you can see that there's a video. It was a scam. This video here is actually a really good video, and that is actually, I can't remember his name now. Once again, Andrew Bragg and Sarah Court. She's ASIC and he's the Senate. So I did a video about that. Very interesting to watch. Actually, very interesting to see how they act. It's actually quite amazing. This is a video I was doing to trying to warn people in the Indian community, because we did have 950 people in their Zoom meeting the other day, which horrifies me. Majority of those people probably would have been in there hoping to get their money back. And just about a couple of hours ago, I did a video with Rob. Rob did a video that broke down the whole boomerang scam, which is basically the dregs of We Are All Satoshi, and Sam Lee's products are still going. So you'll find lots of videos in there. We'll talk about how the Victoria Police, and what this video here is absolutely incredible. The Victoria Police had a complaint, and they gave it back to ASICs 22 months later. And if they didn't, they didn't do that, they could have stopped a lot of Australians from losing money. This is Keith Williams. You may have not seen this photo. This is his 60th birthday bash, and this is Keith on his 60th birthday bash. So at the moment, Keith Williams' family are trying to get my YouTube channel taken down, and they've been writing to YouTube, and they've been successful in actually getting 5 of my videos removed. So if they are removed, I normally cut out the bits that they're trying to say I shouldn't have online, and then I put them in the video area. So if you look at these 2 videos here, you will see this one was removed and this one was removed, and they're now back online with the bits edited out that they're complaining about. But what they're trying to do is protect the location of Keith Williams. So if you want that location, reach out to me, go to dehek.com. I'm not hard to find, kids. Just go to dehek.com, go to the Contact Us page, or reach out to me on WhatsApp, whatever you like. So first of all, I'm going to put my website address in the chat box. And if you want Keith Williams' home address, you can knock on his door and you can get your money back, because that bastard stole it from you. And karma's a bitch. Unfortunately, Keith's got stage 4 cancer. Okay, so the biggest asked question that everyone asks, where is the money? Ooh, easy. One man got the money. Well, as I showed you earlier on with We Are All Satoshi, they transfer the money into smaller components and moving around like gold bars. And it's all going from one crypto wallet to the other one. It's literally like a tree of branches. And we've been following the majority of it. So we know lots about the blockchain. Well, I don't. I've got the Avengers, some real clever people who track the crypto, and they're amazing.
Where is the money?
Good
In
question.
early 2022, as investors began reporting that they could not withdraw funds from HyperVerse, the senior US promoter Rodney Burton was shopping for a new Rolls-Royce. He ended up buying 2 on the same day.
Wow. Good stuff, Rodney.
The 54-year-old from Miami, known as Bitcoin Rodney, wasn't afraid of flaunting his wealth. On Instagram, Burton would post about opulent shopping trips in Dubai where he splurged on designer clothes, drank $3,000 bottles of champagne, and ate steak enrobed with 24-karat gold. He claims to have bought a diamond-encrusted Audemars Piguet watch worth $1.4 million.
Yeah, and if you didn't know it, Rodney was trying to sell his car to government agents. Yes, he's trying to sell his cars to government agents. He got himself a one-way ticket to Dubai, and then he was trying to flee, and they caught him in the departure lounge. That's where he got arrested. I've provided the Men in Black video evidence of him promoting HyperVerse, because they didn't quite have the right video, but I made sure they did. And I'm open to anyone that wants to, any law enforcement, you need a hand, you need any videos. I don't think anyone around the world knows as much about these criminals as I do, because I've got terabytes of hard drives and all this sort of crap to actually, and I've stored a lot of videos that aren't on my YouTube channel, including the one about on the homepage of my YouTube channel at the moment about Yvonne Henry and Kate Longley. Go have a look at it. If you want that video, help yourself. If you want hands, me to appear in court or anything like that, please just ask. I'm here for you.
In 2021, he hosted a series of cryptocurrency promotional events, including hiring the $40 million Seafer mega yacht in Florida South for a $3,500 a head party featuring the rapper Rick Ross.
How about that? Expense spared. And get this one. This is the funniest one.
Brenda Chunga, who court documents say was arguably the face of HyperVerse's presence in the US, is alleged by the SEC to have personally received $3.7 million from investors.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to look for the video, which I did. If I go to my live sections of my videos, if you come down here enough, just scroll down a little bit, you'll see a video. And this was before Bitcoin Rodney was arrested. And this was before I did it on purpose because here we go, the rise and fall. So this video here, go have a look for that one there. And it's the rise and fall of Bitcoin Rodney and Bitcoin Beauty. So I'm just saying to you guys, I get the stuff firsthand. That video there basically shows you everything they just talked about. When I'm saying that, I'm talking about the yacht that they hired, the one that you just mentioned in that article. It probably will take a second. But this is, come on.
Tanti baci.
Fake name, I assume.
Okay, but you can see these are the videos of the yacht where they set up the stage. Let's have a look. I'll go to the part. Yeah, but you get the idea. I'm not going to get distracted. We're going to go get dinner soon before I get told off. Let's go back.
Brenda Chunga, who court documents say was arguably the face of HyperVerse's presence in the US, is alleged by the SEC to have personally received $3.7 million from investors.
Right. So we know it's a lot more money than that, Brenda, don't we? Because Keith Williams pouted out that you made $640 million for HyperVerse in the US, and you were getting 20% of that. That makes $100 million at least. And we've heard from people that know you personally that you've been transferring the money, wire transferring the money, and hiding the money. The men in black probably don't know that, but I can actually put them in touch with the person that actually has seen you doing it. And that's the sort of information that I like hearing about. If you've got any, today I got an email from someone who gave me some information on Keith Williams. Unfortunately, if you listen to this now, the link didn't work. Did you change your mind? Please send it again. I will definitely keep any information about Keith Williams anonymous. But if you want to provide that information again, it would be much appreciated because I couldn't click on the link and you send it to me anonymously, so I can't reply. But please send me some information about Keith Williams. Much appreciated. I will use it wisely.
In an interview in mid-2021, however, Chunga was credited with bringing $640 million into the Hyper scheme. Brenda is the key reason why the United States is on the map, a fellow senior promoter said.
Now, I'm going to take any limelight from Sarah, the reporter here, but I made that statement. They asked me to prove it. I found the video in my archive, and I found the very words where Keith Williams said to Brenda Chunga, "You have brought in $640 million for the community." Isn't it amazing? So that's quite there. Let's just take the credit for that one, Danny.
She is an exceptional leader, loved by the community, loved by her team. If the losses to HyperVerse run to $1.89 billion, as alleged in the court documents, then the millions allegedly pocketed by Chunga and Burton are pocket change.
That's right. And that is true. And I believe it's $4 billion plus. And it's brilliant that they're quoting from the people that have made the statements. So they're using their own swords to kill them with. They're falling on their own swords. That's what happens. Let's keep this up.
Crypto tracing undertaken by the law firm Wealth Recovery Solicitors has followed funds lost to HyperVerse to the collapsed Who exchange. But beyond this, it is unclear where, and to whom, the money has flowed. The SEC complaint against Lee says the Hyper schemes ran global but it is uncertain which countries have been most affected. HyperVerse initially appointed 6 senior leaders as its authorized presenters, including 2 in the US, 2 in the UK, 1 in Australia and 1 in Ireland. The earlier Hyper Fund was launched in both Chinese and English.
That's true, it was.
Guardian Australia has revealed that throughout 2021 and 2022, promoters appeared to target countries in Africa, Asia and the Pacific. There are also anecdotal reports that it was popular with the African American community in the US. Warnings were issued in Germany, Quebec, New Zealand, Hungary, Italy, the UK, India, Nepal, Bermuda and even the Channel Island of Guernsey, revealing the extent of its reach. Legal action is now underway in the UK, with claims being made against the banks for HyperVerse losses. The US is so far the only jurisdiction to lay charges against anyone involved in the scheme.
Yeah, and that's really, really cool because I have actually heard people are getting their money back in the UK because they're going after the banks for not doing enough due diligence to warn people who were handing their money over to these crypto thieves. So it's really, really true, and it's really, really cool to hear that. But that does also mean that people who they're talking about people who were promoting this in these third world countries is actually Des Amy, and hopefully he will now. He's already been questioned by the UK Mirror and ran off to the toilets. If you do a search for Des Amy, I've done numerous articles and videos on him. The lies that come out of Keith Williams' mouth claiming he was doing talks at the House of Commerce, and he wasn't. He was at his business networking group doing a summary talk on some event they did, nothing to do with, but it was in the House of Commerce. So they turned that around to him addressing Parliament. It was just ridiculous. So I did a whole video on that. It was massive. But these are quotes from my videos, which are brilliant.
For people caught on the wrong side of the HyperVerse collapse, more than money has been lost. There have been reports of members taking their own life, depression and stress-induced heart attacks. Guardian Australia has spoken to members who lost their life savings, and at least 2 investors who lost their homes. The schemes have been a wrecking ball, destroying relationships and trust for those who recruited friends and family into the scheme.
Right. Just briefly, I'll tell you a couple of things that let's just, I'll do a summary on this. I think this is the end of it.
Before the HyperVerse collapse, in February 2021, Burton posted pictures on social media of himself with Xu in Dubai, calling him a multi-billionaire and an amazing human. At a dinner with Burton and other senior promoters, Xu promised to change the world together. "We are trying to revolutionize the entire financial system," he said. "If we come together and join the same platform, and we can have the same idea and then we can have the same consensus, and we keep recruiting our army. And one day if our army reaches 1 billion people, then the whole world belongs to us." That is a vision.
Wow. Hey, the next picture is me. Yeah, that's me, the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger. That's me in the New York Times, 2-page spread. They interviewed me over 14 weeks. I think it was published on the online edition. I forget when it was, 11th of November, and the printed edition on the 12th. I think it was a Saturday. I got a 2-page spread about my quest to name it and shame anyone running a Ponzi scheme or a scam. That's the end of the article, guys, and that's me for the night. I just want to say that when I was in the New York Times, I had a company reach out to me, and they told me that one Ponzi scheme that they were following, they actually tracked 11 people died by suicide who got involved in it. So it's more than just money that people are losing. Last 10 days ago, they reached out to me, Australian citizen, told me that she put $128,000 of her money. It wasn't her money, it was her superannuation money. She took it out, gave it all over to HyperVerse and lost the lot. She said she's depressed, she goes to work, she tries to make out nothing's wrong. I've had one guy ring up and tell me he lost $5 million to this Ponzi scheme. I have another lady who told me her husband invested $150,000 into the Ponzi scheme, and she thought she would invest $10,000 to trade them way out of it after she realized that they both lost all their money. I could go on and on and on about it, but what I get about this is people doing this in the privacy of their own home. As I said, I wish in my last video, I said, why don't people go after Zoom, YouTube, Facebook, all the social media platforms that allow people to promote this crap on their platforms? Why don't they do something about it? Why don't you newspapers stop publishing articles about people who've lost all their money and the devastation it's caused, and go after the people at the top of the cliff who are pushing these people off it, like Zoom. Zoom, every single day I report a Zoom meeting for running a Ponzi scheme or a scam. 12 hours later, they get blocked, and they think this is their way of policing these platforms. Why do I need to police Zoom's platform? Why do you not privatize this? Why not give it to people like the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger and let me have the discretion to shut down a Zoom meeting when I see people pushing these Ponzi schemes down people's throats? These guys are professionals. They know what they're doing. They know how to overcome all the obstacles. When I was a Jehovah's Witness, I used to knock on people's doors, and they'd say they're not interested. And I'd say, is it Jehovah's Witnesses you're not interested in? Or is it religion? People would say religion. And you'd go, well, I can understand that, because religion is responsible for a lot of the mayhem in the world at the moment. Wouldn't you agree? Half an hour later, the person's still talking to me on the doorstep. All these scammers, it is like a cult. They know how to overcome all the objections. I can't even say the word. But hey, don't be bamboozled by it. Don't give your money away. Play on crypto if you must, but don't give it away to these people that promise these false hopes that never eventuate. I was brought up in a religious cult. I was told that I was going to live on a paradise earth, and the righteous would inherit the earth. All the wicked people, everyone that wasn't a Jehovah's Witness, would be destroyed, and they would spend 1,000 years cleaning up the earth. That's what I was told. What a load of rubbish. And I now don't have my family because they're still part of this religious cult. And it's heartbreaking. But hey, I've learned to move on. I've got balls of steel. Make your own world. Be true to yourself. Be true to your heart. Be true to others. Don't let people steal your money. Work at becoming a better version of yourself. Build some close friendships with people. Make a difference that way. Think of something nice that you can do for someone else. We live in a world now that is a me first attitude. And we don't have people who really look out for other people. So try to become a better version of yourself. Do good to others rather than the attitude these scammers have. Do to them before they do. Was it? Do to them before they do it to you. I think the have now generation is really going to make it hard. You know, like I remember when my mum and dad had their first house, I think they would have had like 7 items. But these days we move into a new house with 77 items. You know, people want it all now. They don't believe in like starting small, thinking big and growing slowly. Oh no, you put a little bit of money in here and it times it by 10 with no product or service. How's that work? Hey, I hope you've enjoyed this live. I've only done an hour, 10 minutes. It was a great article. I'd just like to congratulate Sarah Martim from the Guardian newspaper for doing a great summary of something that I've been doing for 2 years. I got to go get tea for my partner because she's about to dong me on the head. And I'll see you. Oops, she's coming up behind me. Hello. Oop, she's got a red flag. That flag, red flag. Time for Danny to get off and feed the family. What are we having for tea?
Indian.
Indian. Love Indian. We had it on Friday. We can have it again.
Yeah.
All right. See you guys. I'm going to click in now. Tell me how much you love me.
A little bit.
A little bit. More than my brother. See yous.